Hi, Long Beach Unified community. It's a midweek check-in on this Wednesday afternoon. I've sure been thinking of all of you, including over the weekend, just wondering how you are and thinking about that question of how we will continue to go on in the coronavirus environment. We're working really hard at the school district, continuing to make plans for next year, for what learning will look like, for what options families will have, and we'll have more information to come on all of those elements of our work. Today's midweek update, I'd just like to focus on showing appreciation for a group of people who have really shown up in a different way to work this week. We brought a significant number of our employees back to work who had been working remotely in order to effectively close the school year, because it takes a lot of people to close up all the business of schools, to collect materials, and to get ready for the close of school, as well as central office staff to get ready for the close of offices, to get ready for summer programs, and to get ready for next year. We've had a special focus on getting things cleaned out and ready for what the year will look like and how we will continue in the environment that we are in now. So my special celebration today is for CDC staff and Kids Club staff and Head Start staff and some of our WRAP employees who came into buildings this week to provide childcare services for other employees who were coming back to work. I had the pleasure yesterday morning of being out at several of those sites, seeing our employees dropping off their students and getting to thank those who were working the child care services. Everyone was incredibly friendly, well prepared, and just made children and their parents feel really comfortable. I hope if you are using those child care services that you give a special thanks to that staff and just know how hard all of those teams worked for several weeks, literally around the clock, to set up places where students could come into the building safely while their parents provided an essential service as an employee of our school district. Continue on the theme of bright spots. I have two additional bright spots that came in from teachers over the last week. One from Dr. Kay Van Zant Bradney, a teacher at Nelson, who shared, she's a 30-year veteran teacher, but shared her love of being a lifelong learner and how becoming a teacher from a distance really allowed her to learn so much and engage with her students differently. She shared a story with me about contacting Google and asking for some assistance with Google, and then having a contact with Google where they were supporting her in being a distance teacher, and even featuring her story on a Google a blog. So shout out to Nelson teacher Kay Van Zant Bradney for the work that you're doing and for demonstrating one of the things that I love about education, which is being a lifelong learner. The second is Christina Vieira, one of our special education teachers at Hart Elementary, who works with TK, K, and first grade students. She shared the beauty and the joy of her students working on different art projects, but what was really a bright spot beyond the actual learning part of it is that Christina, went out and delivered art kits to each of her students so that they could then participate in the learning in a way that allowed them to have the materials in front of them as she read a story and related it to their classroom learning. Teachers, you have just been amazing. And Christina and Kay, you represent two of the many out in the field doing this beautiful work each and every day. So I'll be back probably on Friday with an end of week update. We expect some information to be coming from our city this week as we transition phases of the release of the stay-at-home orders. We're watching closely. We're in communication with city officials and our health department. And if there are things that we can provide you updates on Friday, I will be here to do so. Thank you for being a wonderful Long Beach Unified community, and I will see you soon.